Ladies and gentlemen, we're very privileged to have a celebrity with us today. Welcome to the show. We're talking about celebrity life, and with me is Bebe. He's here to talk about one, why men cheat. You can ask him all the questions you've wanted to ask him for a very long time. So, and hopefully he'll sing for us at the end of it all. Bebe, thank you so much for coming. But we want to know really about your life, how you joined music. I know you grew up with your mother, but what grounding force did you have there with your mother?
First and foremost, I'd like to thank you so much for inviting me here. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. It's a great one. And
we're lucky to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it's true. I grew up with my mother. I grew up as with my mother. I'm the last born, you know, in quotes, the stubborn ones.
Did they spoil you being the last born?
50-50, I would say, yes.
Okay.
But only because I was always a very hard guy, you know. I know the difference between good and bad. So even if you spoil me the bad way, I wouldn't eat 50 sweets if I knew I wanted to. So I came up with my mother. I don't know a life of a father.
Yes.
So basically, there was nothing in my life that
no
could...
male figure in your
Yeah, so it didn't... Funny enough, it did not affect my, you know, being a father in the future. That need to be a father. That's one of the reasons why amongst celebrities in the country, I chose to settle first.
Yes.
Because I wanted to see what it is like, you know, to be a father.
We need him to tell us what's going on. You represented an ideal couple, our celebrity ideal couple. We want to know something about why men cheat and what you can speak about that.
Well, basically, it's an open question. It's not relayed straight to me. But yes, one thing I know for sure.
Yes, we can start from there.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes.
One thing I know for sure,
yes,
when it comes to a man and a woman,
yes,
there are two differences that I've learned in my, you know, short life. 8 years of being a celebrity at the top, though I've done music for more than 18 years.
yeah,
Of course, the first 10 years is struggle. I've come up in a family where I never saw my mother with any man. So I had to devise a way to see how life can be, you know, the same like any other person's life, but even better.
Bebe is a man in love. I know this for sure. So I'm really tempted to ask you this. What are some of the attributes you like about Zuena? She's beautiful, by the way.
Well, I think for her as a woman, the first thing that, of course, was striking was her beauty. The day I met her.
She is beautiful. You agree?
The next thing I liked about her was she had respect for me.
Yeah.
And she respected herself when I met her. So it was easy. I don't know how it happened, but it was easy for her to not to move out with any rich man, but to move out with me. The trick behind was if she wasn't respecting people, she wouldn't have known me, because I was very rowdy, you know, but in my career, as designed, though people, you know, people will always say, you know, those guys do drugs, those guys are here, those guys are there, you know, spoiled, gone cases.
Here we don't say that.
Now. But you don't want to know then. Anyway, so I think I liked her personality also, and the fact that she was the first woman in my life who showed me that, you know, a man like you can be loved.
Oh. Aren't you excited? You know, he came to my office. Seeing him this vulnerable, I was in shock. I didn't expect this from him. I didn't even know what to expect, but that is really nice.
It's a blessing from God.
But you said something about intelligence too.
Yeah, she's a very intelligent woman. Because, you know, it's not the hardest thing to do ever is to get married to a musician. It's the hardest thing. I do understand. That's why I'm not even pushing her to come back, because I know she's got to live with this for the rest of her life. You wake up in the morning, every second of your life, there's a girl who's going to send you a message, say, I love your music, oh, I love the way you look. So what are you going to do?
I know, yeah.
And that's just a fun.
Yeah.
But of course, with fans, you can never put limits, okay?
You must be.
And she wakes up in the morning, she sees other women settled. Of course, they're not settled because the only difference between her and them is they're not famous. Many people here have problems in their relationships,
Yes.
marriages, and blah, blah, blah. The only reason why I'm in this position with her is because we're famous. But the actual point would be the strength to accept that, yes, I have a feeling these guys are wrong, but I think I can handle giving him 2 kids or even more, and then I can handle, you know, maybe she can't handle competition because if there was a real girl there, but you know.
This is serious. She would. Serious. I like honesty, so.
But she's a perfect housewife.
London. This is very important for me, and I would like to share it with you for one of my living heroes, Nelson Mandela. And I think, I don't know even what it is like to be in his presence. And obviously, you tell us what it is to meet like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, you know. Who are these?
That is Suzanne of Kenya, and this is the Sudanese Kid. And that's a live band that was, you know, given to me to, you know, play. And these are my fellow Ugandans.
How large was the audience?
It's the biggest audience ever in the world. The biggest on a concert.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here. My name is Bebe, and this is the only prison uniform you will ever want to see. Everlasting after the greatest, blackest man in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, for Africa, I kneel down on my knees and I thank you for supporting Mr. Madiba Nelson Mandela because he has made the rest of the leaders in Africa. I want what is happening to Kenya and Zimbabwe to happen to Uganda, my country. So the rest of the leaders watching from Africa, please take an example from Mr. Madiba and live for the
That is nice.
Just to come to the bridge. All those great rich men reaching their boundaries. Come on, a great contribution to our motherland. All those great boundaries, the fathers of motherland. It's up the words to keep driving home. Oh, I was born.
So that's Bebe Cool performing on behalf of all of us Africans in London. So Nelson, Madiba, thank you for coming.